to my channel, Be For Real. I am Brit. So first things first, make sure you are subscribed, hit the bell to get those notifications turned on to make sure you do not miss any of my videos. You do not want to miss any of my videos, not one. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's all I want y'all to do. So if you guys have been following me on Instagram, then you know I am a new mommy to a beautiful baby boy. I am out of this world. I feel extremely blessed. If you aren't following me on Instagram, be sure that you are at Be For Real 610. But today we are going to go ahead and show you how to make a complete 5-day meal prep using one meal. Okay, so when I say this is going to cut down your meal prep time tremendously, it is going to cut it down tremendously. This is easy. It is literally a no excuse way to plan your meals out for the week. So I am not going to hold you guys up. We are going to go ahead and hop right into the video. Alright y'all, so we are starting off with some field roast sausage. This video is not sponsored by Field Roast, but Field Roast. So I am cutting down all 8 of the links into about 1/2-inch pieces. These vegan sausages are soy free, so if you're worried about that, worry no longer. So we are going to get right to it. I got my pan here. I just went ahead and sliced up an onion. I'm throwing it in a pan over medium-high heat with about a tablespoon of some minced garlic. So I'm going to let that cook down until the onions are translucent. Here I'm just throwing in some mixed peppers. Frozen mixed peppers, you can of course use fresh. You can always cut up fresh peppers and freeze them yourself. Little Be For Real tip. So I'm just throwing in a bag of these mixed peppers. And I'm also going to throw in some shredded carrot. I'm basically throwing all the veggies that I got in my refrigerator into this little scramble that we're going to make here. So this is your preference. You could put in or omit whatever you like. It's your world. If it's something you don't like, don't put it in there. It's that simple. If you want to add something, put it in there. All right, it's that simple. So I'm also going to add in some mushroom. These are just some regular white button mushroom, nothing special. We're going to add this in as well, and then we're going to add in our sausage. So I'm just going to add all of the sausage in here, and now we are at my favorite part, seasoning. Okay, we are going to go ahead and do our little ancestor shimmy of our seasonings here. You can use what you like, but I use pink Himalayan salt. We got some garlic powder. We of course have the smoked paprika, some Sazon Complete, because you know, add a little kick. Now I know it might seem a little heavy-handed, but there is a lot of food in here, so we are shimmying to our heart's desire. Okay, so I'm cooking this down for about 6 minutes. Then I'm popping in some cherry tomatoes I cut up, and I'm also going to pop in a lot of spinach, because you know spinach like to do us dirty, and we're going to blink and it's going to be 2 leaves in here. Okay, so we are going to let this cook down until the spinach is wilted, just like that. And then you are done. Like, we are moving right along, and we can start to go ahead and prepare our meals. So our first meal is going to include some sweet potatoes that oh, look at that, y'all. I'm fancy. So I just went ahead and diced these up. Put a little bit of olive oil in here, and of course season this up with some garlic powder, chili powder, pink Himalayan salt, and some smoked paprika, and a little bit of pepper. So I kept it real simple. And then of course I put some parsley on here, you know, for the aesthetic. If you watch my videos, you already know. So I'm just going to go ahead and flick my wrist up on these sweet potatoes. Get every single last sweet potato coated, okay? Every single one. Don't get lazy. Put your elbow in it. Make sure it is all combined and incorporated. Every synonym you can think of. And then we are going to go ahead and pop these in the oven at 425 degrees. Okay. I'm going to put this on a flat sheet. You do not want your sweet potatoes crowded. You want it in one layer. And I'm going to go ahead and put that in the oven for 30 minutes. Okay. And I'm going to check it every 10 minutes and just to rotate the potatoes. Cool, y'all got that? So I'm going to go ahead and pop my sweet potatoes into our meal prep container. Once they are done, I'm also going to go ahead and throw in our mixture, and boom, look at that, first meal of the week complete. Yes it is. All right, so moving along, our next meal is going to consist of some quinoa that I already cooked according to its package directions. I follow directions, yes I do. So I'm going to go ahead and just add in some lemon juice. I cut up half of a lemon, and I also added in, of course, some pink Himalayan salt to give our quinoa some flavor. Because I don't know about y'all, but I don't like plain quinoa. I needed to have a little bit of Okay, so we are going to place this into our meal prep container. We are going to then add our scramble here once again. And boom, look, meal number two. Meal number two. Listen, I don't know everything, but I know a little something from time to time. And when I figure that out, I share that with y'all. Okay, so third meal, we are going to be making a spicy hummus wrap. Now you could get regular hummus, you can omit the hummus, you can use a different type of spread. Listen, as I always say, it is your world, you could do what you want. I'm just using a regular flour burrito tortilla. For this, I'm going to add some quinoa in it just to, pump it up a little bit. And then we're going to add our mixture. And then I'm going to roll it. I'm like, y'all, I can't make this no more easy than it already is. This is like the easiest meal prep that I could ever come up with. And I'm just so glad to be sharing it with y'all. I just hope that y'all utilize it and y'all see the benefit in it. But yeah, so we're going to roll this up just like that right there. Yeah, there you go. Nice and perfect. I'm going to go ahead and slice this because I know y'all be getting on me when I don't cut stuff and show y'all. Y'all killed me in that chicken video. I'm sorry. All right. I don't know how many times I gotta say it. So here we are. Our burrito, nice and perfectly assembled. And boom. Meal number 3. We are doing it. And we are doing it together. Okay? And on to meal number 4. So we are just going to take this and put it in some taco shells. Well, tortilla. We are going to be using regular flour tortilla. They are, of course, vegan. Make sure you are checking the ingredients on your tortilla wraps. But more than likely, a lot of times they do not contain any animal byproducts. But I'm just going to throw our mixture in here. Pop on some salsa and some vegan sour cream on the side. And boom, simple. Now, if you would like on the day of, you could top this with some avocado. But boom. And the last meal is our cheat meal. So we are going to be placing this with some grits. I'm of course going to get our grits together. I'm adding in some vegan butter. And I'm also going to add in, of course, our pink Himalayan salt. Because, we got to have this nice and doctored up. We're not just leaving our grits plain. You can if you like. You can omit the grits. Some people don't like grits. I understand. But I'm also going to throw in some Daiya cheddar cheese. Now, I am going to be a little heavy-handed with the cheese because I did make a few servings of these grits. So we had to make sure they were nice and right. So I'm just going to stir this all up until everything is melted down. Your grits should look like this in the end if you are following it the way I did it. Okay? So I cooked the grits according to the package directions. I added the butter, the salt, and the cheese. And boom. Simple as that. So I'm going to go ahead and add our grits on the side. Again, we're going to add our little scramble on the side. Boom. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. We are done. We done went ahead and took one dish and created 5 meals for the week. Okay? We got the grits. We got the tacos. We got the sweet potatoes. We got the quinoa. And we got the burrito. By the way, that is salsa on the side of that burrito, just in case I failed to mention it. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. It is a wrap. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. So right now, I'm actually going to get into my birth story / labor and delivery story. If you were just here for the food and you don't care nothing about the pregnancy part of my life, cool. I will see you in the next video. But if you would like to hear my experience and everything that led up to today, and since I've been gone and my whole birth journey, then stay tuned. So it's going to kind of be mukbang style, not really, but I'm basically eating one of the dishes that I already prepped. It's lunchtime right now for me, so I'm eating the sweet potatoes and the scramble that I made. And of course it bang, y'all. And the flavors go together so well. So I'm basically gonna be tearing this up while I'm talking to y'all. And I'm gonna try not to ramble, but this might actually be a lengthy part of the video. So grab a snack. Feel free to grab a snack. Sit down with me, have a bite, or whatever. And of course, I got my trusty water. If you know me personally, you know I don't go nowhere without this joint right here. It carries 40 ounces of water. I keep water in here 24/7. Plus, I'm breastfeeding, so I don't play. First things first, I wanted to talk about why I wanted to have my child at a birth center opposed from a hospital setting. If no one knows, this is my first baby. And if you know me personally, then you know that I'm kind of a control freak. Like, I like things done a certain way. I'm very particular about everything, especially things that I do. So I wanted to be in control as much as possible with my labor and delivery. I didn't want to just do what they told me to do. I wanted to be educated on what was going on because I never had a baby before, and I don't take any medication whatsoever. I don't take Tylenol, Advil. I don't do any of that. So I knew going into having a baby, you know, those are things that might have to happen, especially during labor and delivery, where you're getting put on different, you know, getting an epidural, you know, the Pitocin, the penicillin, and this. And I was just, you know, I wanted to control that as much as possible. I wanted to take a holistic approach, and I wanted to have the baby in a setting that wasn't as, you know, invasive or involved. I just wanted it to be as if I was at home. Now, I opted not to have the baby at home because this was my first child and I have no idea how to deliver a baby. So I didn't want to take that risk and have the baby here. And if there was any type of complications or what have you, it wouldn't have been anything that I was familiar with. Even though we would have more than likely had a midwife or a doula here, I didn't feel comfortable. I would rather be somewhere. With the birth center, it was amazing. Like, as far as the setup that we were going to have, the room was as if you were at home. You know, the lights you could dim. You can bring your own, you know, things to decorate around the room, whether you had affirmations, a diffuser, music. You can have as many people as you wanted to have there, whereas though at a hospital they limit you to how many people you can have in the hospital room. A birth center does not. You can bring snacks and things of that nature. You didn't have to have your baby lying down. I think that was my number one thing. I did not want to have my baby lying down. I wanted to do what was natural, or what felt natural to me, and that is, you know, if I wanted to have the baby on all fours, I could do that. You know, if I wanted to have the baby in a squat position or what have you, I could do that. And with the hospital setting, you're laying down because at the end of the day, that's easier for the doctor and the nurses. Whereas though at the birth center, you have full control over what you feel as though is right. So that's basically a lot of the reasons why I wanted to have the baby at the birth center. It was just, I felt like I would have more control over what was going on. And not to say you can't at a hospital, but I don't want to have to argue or fight or be side-eye about the decisions that I'm making. I know a lot of people don't care whether people side-eye them or people are like giving them, you know, talking back to them, but I just didn't want to experience that, to be honest. Like, I wanted to be in an environment where the team of nurses and the midwife understood fully what I was trying to do without looking at me like, you sure? Or I don't know. Like, sis, this is my baby. This is my first, this is what I want to do. Unless it's an emergency situation. The only time I feel like that is okay is if they're doing something to ensure that you're not putting yourself or your baby at risk. That's the only time I feel like, you know, a nurse or a doctor should intervene. Other than that, I should be able to do what I want. Like, I don't understand. So The pregnancy was amazing. I had no complications. Everything was going perfectly fine. I had a stellar pregnancy. The only thing, I really didn't have any symptoms. The only thing that really kind of took a toll on my pregnancy was the fact that I was fatigued a lot. Even when I brought my iron up and I was eating iron rich foods like I had told you guys in a previous video, I was still tired. I would have spurts or bursts of energy some days, but overall I was tired. Like it was hard to do anything, which was why it was really sporadic with me getting videos out, and I wasn't really, you know, consistently putting YouTube videos out or doing anything like Instagram related. I stopped vending. I stopped doing a lot of things that pertain to Be For Real because I was tired. Oh my God, I was tired. I was so fatigued. And it didn't matter how much I slept. Like, I would get up, eat, do my little maintenance, and I'd be right back in the bed. Like, I literally I had no energy whatsoever. Me and my spouse did have a baby moon. We went to San Diego, and that was so nice. Oh my God, it was so relaxing. It was everything that we both needed before officially becoming parents. So I highly recommend, if it is in your budget or you have the means, doing baby moon with you and your spouse. Please do. And it doesn't have to be anything extravagant or elaborate. You could just take a weekend, you know, to do nothing, or plan things around your own town, or go somewhere close. You don't have to go somewhere far. We went always to the other side of the country, but it was the best decision we ever made. We really enjoyed our time in San Diego. Like, it was a city that I never even thought of visiting, and I loved it. We loved it wholeheartedly. So if you have the opportunity, especially if you're becoming a first-time parent, I would highly recommend doing a baby moon, just so that you and your spouse can have that time alone, for sure, before your baby comes. So moving forward, once I came back from San Diego, things picked up pretty quickly. I went to my doctor's appointment, and they let me know that the baby was growing, like the baby was getting huge. Out of nowhere, it was like he was just having these growth spurts, like he was just getting bigger and bigger. And you know, the doctor ended up telling me, like, look, you're looking at a 10-pound, close to 11-pound baby. And I'm like, what? There is no way, because I wasn't a big baby. His dad wasn't a big child. It's just not a thing that really runs in our families. So it just was like, what are y'all talking about? Like, I didn't believe him, because at the end of the day, when they do the estimates, it is an estimate. You know, it's not fact, and it could be higher or it could be lower. So I was in the now. I didn't want to believe that he was going to be a big baby at all. Did not want to believe it. So they tested me for gestational diabetes at first, and I did take that test, and I passed it. So with him growing larger very quickly, they advised that I should test again. Now, they didn't tell me I had to. They did say it was my choice, and I decided to do it because, being a first-time parent, I just didn't want to do anything that may jeopardize or hurt my child. I'm a new mom, and it's a lot of things that I don't know. So I didn't want to be like, no, when in all actuality, it's a chance that I could have slipped through on that 15% gray area and put my child at risk. I wasn't going to be that mom. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to suck it up, and I'm going to take the 3-hour test. That 3-hour test is brutal, okay? If you don't have to take it, if there's like no risk or whatever, I really hope you don't fail the first test. Ooh, because that second test ain't nothing nice. Ain't nothing nice. But I passed the second test. So again, no gestational diabetes. So at that point, they were like, you may just be having a larger child. Because other than that, I had no complications, no issues with my pregnancy whatsoever. I was considered a low risk pregnancy. They still wanted to test me. They were just like, well, let's send you home with this meter so that way you can check your blood sugar every day just to make sure. So I'm like, all right, you know, at the end of the day, it won't hurt. And I appreciated them wanting to make sure. I didn't want to, oh my God, why didn't do that? I didn't want to do all that because at the end of the day, it's better to be safe than sorry. Period. And I just wasn't in the position to be putting my child's life in danger. Like, I just didn't want to jeopardize anything or have it be a situation where we could have caught something and we didn't because I was being stubborn for no reason, because I felt like I shouldn't be doing this or I shouldn't be doing that, because it made sense to do it. I don't know how people eat and talk. It's kind of difficult. I ended up doing a meter at home. Still no gestational diabetes. So at this point, it's like, all right, you ain't got it. You ain't got it. So at this point, the birth center by law cannot deliver a baby at the birth center that is over 5,000 grams. At the time when I went, I think I was about 37 or 38 weeks. He was at 4,900 grams. So it was like, here's the meter, here's him. Talked to the midwife at the birth center. They said, listen, I understand that you wanted to have the baby here, and of course we want you to have the baby here, but right now, for the best interest of you and your child, you need to go to the hospital. It's just simple as that. So at first I actually thought I was going to be upset about it, like earlier on when I was like, dang, it might be a possibility that if I don't stay low risk I have to go to the hospital. Like, I'm gonna be mad. But I was not upset at all. Like, I literally was like, okay, we going to the hospital. It was just simple as that. At this point, I just wanted to do what was best for me and him, because with him being a larger child, it could have been a situation where he got stuck. It could have been a situation where I hemorrhaged or he had shoulder dystocia. I just didn't want to go through any of that. However, I was adamant on pushing him out. I did not want to have a C-section. C-section is major surgery. Like, I don't know if anybody else thinks or knows this or not, but C-section is major surgery. Like, they are cutting through your uterus, and you know, you have to recover from that, and that is like major surgery, and I did not want to experience that. Now, I'm not judging nobody who willingly has C-sections, because for some people it's convenient. You could schedule your C-section. You basically pick your child's birthday, you go in there, you have your baby, and that's that, and you're cool with it, and that's fine. I'm not judging no moms who've had a C-section or have had to have a C-section. You know, at the end of the day, your baby is here. I am no more a mother because I had my child vaginally than you are. We are both equal, okay? Let me just be clear on that. However, I did not want a C-section. I'm sorry. I didn't want one. It just seemed like a lot. And I commend the mothers who have had to have a C-section, who have chosen voluntarily to have one. I commend y'all. Y'all are warriors, okay? So at my last ultrasound appointment, the doctor was basically like, sis, what you gonna do? Like, if you want to have this baby vaginally, you need to have him like right now. You can't stop and collect $200. You need to chop have this baby right now, because if you wait, you're not going to be able to push him out. He's going to be too large, and you're going to have a C-section to ensure that, you know, your health and his health are in good condition, because right now you are pushing it. He said, well, you're going to have to get induced. You cannot go past your due date. So I got set up to get induced. Everything literally happened like that. We went from waiting and, you know, letting my body do its natural thing to, you need to have this baby right now. Pack your bags. Your bag need to be packed. Get in the car. Come on. We're going to set you up. Get these tubes in you. Let's go. I was like, dang, like I didn't have any, like I was like, wait, I still got stuff to do. Like I still got stuff to do around the house. I was still nesting. Like I didn't think anything was in place yet. So the first time I was supposed to get induced, they actually had to push it back because they didn't have any beds available. Apparently everybody was having babies. So they had to push it back, which was great because it gave me time to rest. It gave me time to do the little last minute things I needed to do around the house. I wanted to cook and have like meals prepared for when we got back home, so that way we weren't starving. Even though people could bring us food, but because I don't eat meat, people be like, what do I bring you? People get confused. Whatever. So I wanted to have things already prepared so that way all we had to do was pop it in the microwave or the oven or put it on the stove and we were good to go. As I'm on my way in, I start having contractions. So I'm like, I think I'm having a contraction. I don't know. And they were bearable. So I'm like, I could do this. I could definitely do this. Like, I don't even need to be induced. Like, he's going to come on his own. This is going to be fantastic. So we get in. They get us all set up. And they give me what is called the Foley bulb or the Foley balloon, and that basically helps you to dilate 3 centimeters, because when I got in there, he was like, you're only like a fingertip. I'm like, perfect. So they went ahead and gave me that Foley bulb. It fell out within 45 minutes. I was at 3 centimeters just like that. So they were like, oh, okay. So basically it was like, well, let's try to see if your body will do its natural thing, contract on its own, and dilate in a face on its own. Great. 4 hours passed. They come back. I'm still at 3 centimeters. So they like, sis, your body's not doing its natural thing. We're going to have to help you. I'm like, okay, cool. So they put me on a Pitocin. Now, if anybody watching this video has been on Pitocin, I ain't want to get the epidural, but if they tell you to get on Pitocin, get the epidural. Get it right. Just get it. So they give me the Pitocin, and I'm just like, I'm still going to do my little natural thing. I'm still going to do my little natural thing. I'm just going to hit this baby natural. They have to go from 0 to 20. I think it's 20 milliliters. They'll go all the way up to, they may even go up to 30. And they go by increments of 2. And they do it every half hour. Child, they got up to 10. I was like, where the epidural at? Where is it? Where is it? He need to, where is he? The anesthesiologist, tell him to come right now. Cause I'm just like, okay, I'm breathing. I'm doing good. Another 4 hours go by. I'm at 10 on the Pitocin. They come in. Hi, ma'am, you're at 4 centimeters. Wait a minute. 8 hours then passed already. And I'm only at 4 centimeters. And these contractions are at like a level, like literally I was having contractions as if I was like 7 or 8 centimeters. And I was only at 4. I'm like, get the anesthesiologist now. Right now. Right now. Get them right now. So the nurse was like, listen, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but if you get the epidural, you'll be much more comfortable. And I was like, get it. Get him. Right now. Get it. I don't care. Forget everything I said. I don't care about what I said. Give me this epidural. So I got the epidural. Oh, that was like the best thing I did. In the situation of the Pitocin contractions, I feel like if I would have not had the Pitocin and I was contracting on my own, I really feel like I would have been able to deliver my child without the epidural. But because I had the Pitocin shots, and those contractions are way more severe because you're forcing your body to contract instead of allowing it to do it on its own. Yeah, it's 10 times more difficult. for sure. So I get the epidural, and finally I'm able to relax. I'm able to go to sleep. I'm able to, you know, just, you know. Then I feel pressure, but I don't feel the sharp pain. And thank God I did not have back labor. Everything was in my stomach, like wrapped around my stomach, as far as my contractions were concerned. I didn't have any back labor. Thank God. After that, things kind of progressed pretty quickly. I still was in labor for a long time, but I felt like we were moving at a more consistent pace as far as me opening up, which was amazing. So fast forward like 24 hours. Fast forward like 24 hours of labor. I feel like my epidural wore off. I'm feeling the pressure, okay? Like, it feels like I have to go to the bathroom so bad, and it hurts. It hurts. It hurts. Like, I felt the pain, okay? I felt the pain, and it wasn't, looking back on it, it wasn't unbearable, but it was because I wasn't ready to push it. So I'm like, it's like you're holding yourself back from going to the bathroom, but it's like trying to, this might be TMI, but it's like it's trying to come out, but you're like holding yourself back from going. It was terrible. Okay. So finally the doctor comes in. She's like, you're 9 centimeters. You're like, I think I was like 9.5 or 9 and something. She like, listen, it's time to go. It's time to do it. You are effaced. You are open. We are ready for this baby to come out. I'm like, yes, let's do it. Let's get him out of here. So we start the pushing process. I feel like I got him down there pretty quickly. Like, pretty quickly within the pushing process, he was already crowning. Like, we were there. However, I don't know about anybody else, but I know in that moment, I forgot how big he was estimated to be. So, whereas though I was pushing with all my heart, like all my might, all my strength, I'm pushing, 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 pushing. His head was just, it was just like this. It'll come out a little bit, and I'm like, and I'm like, they bring the mirror over. The mirror was discouraging because I could see him come out, then I could see him slide back, and I'm like, get this mirror out of here. I don't need to see this. This is not helping me. It was a resident doctor and it was a midwife there. The midwife says, Brittany, if you don't push him out in this next push, we're going to have to cut you. I'm like, say what? Say what now? Come on. Come on. Come on, baby. Come. Just. Nah, it didn't happen on the next push either. So she ended up having to cut me, which she did a good cut. She didn't cut me vertically. She cut me horizontally. And then things got a little frantic. So I'm pushing and his head is out. His head did pop out. But because of his size, his shoulder did get stuck a little bit in my pelvic bone within the birth canal. He got a little stuck, so it got frantic. She ended up calling a nurse to come press on my side, and then next thing you know, it's like 10 people in the room, and it's a lady. She's over top of me. She's pressing down. Everybody's like just pushing on me, trying to pop this baby out, and it is like mayhem for a good 10 seconds of my life. Finally, he pops out, but he's not breathing. They're not able to put him on my chest. I wasn't able to do the delayed cord clamping because they had to cut him immediately and rush him to give him oxygen because his heart rate was dropping. Pretty traumatic experience. And in that moment, I had no idea what was going on. And shortly after, he starts to cry. Everything is great. And guess how much he weighed? 10 pounds, 10 ounces. I couldn't believe it. I was like, that came out of me? 10 pounds and 10 ounces of a person? Of a human? Sheesh. It was amazing. It was amazing. And just to double back really quickly, I did have a doula. I had a doula as my support person. I highly recommend her. Her name is Tekara Gaines. She was awesome, okay? And in the moments that I needed a support person, she was there. And it's not to say that you can't have your family or you can't have, you know, your significant other, because they were all there. My family, my significant other, they were all there. So somebody decided that they wanted to wake up early and join us. So my doula, Tekara, was amazing. If you're looking for a doula, whether you're having a natural birth or a C-section, whatever the case may be, I would highly recommend getting her. She's an awesome support person. If you're not familiar with what a doula does, she's basically like an added support person for you during your labor and delivery. And when I tell y'all, it was a necessity for me. It was a necessity. Even though I had my family there, because, you know, I didn't have a shortage of people who were there for me, but that added stuff. It's like everyone there was emotionally invested, as far as, you know, they were already biased to how they would feel or how they may react to certain things. Whereas though my doula, she's there for me. She's there to support me. She's there, you know, when, you know, my family may be asleep or my family was having their own emotional reaction to what was going on, especially during that traumatic situation. Like literally, if she wasn't there, no one would have been by my bedside, because everybody was just so frantic as to what was going on that, you know, people were crying, they were emotional, people were upset, and no one was there to tell me like what was going on, but she was, you know. See what I'm saying? So it just depends on what you think you may need. But I knew I needed that. I knew I was going to need somebody that, you know, that was there and, you know, specifically just there to, you know what positions to put me in and things like that, that may alleviate pain from the contractions and things like that. Like, of course, my family was there to support me 110%, but my doula, she was the expert as far as knowing how to soothe me during labor, if that makes sense. So I will put her contact information in the description box below. Be sure to reach out to her if you're in the tri-state area. And as tri-state, I mean PA, Delaware, or Jersey. If you're in the area, just go ahead and reach out to her if you are having a child, because I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Okay, so on top of her being my doula, she also does placenta encapsulation. She did go ahead and encapsulate it for me. So she went ahead and put it into these capsules so that I'm able to take it orally. And she also made a tincture for me as well. So this actually had to sit for 6 weeks before it was able to be used. So consuming your placenta is great for many things, as far as, you know, postpartum stress or depression, the transition that you're going through into motherhood. Definitely great. It has helped me out so much. It has been amazing. She was amazing. Like I said, I'll have her information in the description box below. But other than that, I ended up having a healthy baby boy, 10 pounds 10 ounces, born on December 7th. He's my pride and joy. Yeah, your mommy's pride and joy. If y'all hear a little bit of gurgling, it's because I'm feeding the baby. He woke up. I couldn't imagine motherhood to be the way that it is. I'm literally enjoying every single moment that I had with my son. It's so surreal. Like, I can't believe, like, even saying my son is still very foreign to me, but I'm really embracing everything that comes with motherhood, the ups and the downs, because we've had our days and I'm sure we will have plenty more. But overall, it's very rewarding. I just love everything about it, to be honest. It is a transition. I'm not even about to lie. It's definitely a big transition. Emotionally, physically, it is very, very trying. And it is a transition, but in the end, it is extremely rewarding. I'm very happy and I feel extremely, extremely blessed throughout this entire process. I'm glad you guys have been along with me through the journey. You've been patient with me through my lack of videos and this, that, and the third. Like, I've been very sporadic with everything throughout this entire process, but I'm glad for those who've been hanging on, subscribing, sharing my videos. You guys are amazing and I appreciate you so much. So yeah, I'll be back to the videos. I'm happy to be back in the kitchen sharing my recipes with you guys, and I thank you guys for watching. If you have any additional questions about my labor and delivery story, feel free to drop a question down in the comments below. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Say bye, baby. You want to say bye? We're going to take that as a goodbye.